Hello, good evening, you guys. I decided to come on for like an hour. Yeah, for like an hour. I'm gonna give you all the opportunity to um get the notifications. I see two people. Let me see, did she answer me? She may be at work. Oh wow. How is everybody doing tonight? How you at your sewing? I don't think it has sent out the notifications. You know why? Because I haven't even gotten a notification on my phone. So we'll see. How are you doing? You're at your sewing. Hold on one second. I wanted to talk about the young lady that was gunned down in Chicago. And I also wanted to remember a young lady that has been missing for over 30 years. Okay. I said I was going to come on for like an hour. I know it's late, but I had some other things going on. So I'm doing extremely good. I am. I'm doing extremely well. As a matter of fact, I'm doing very well. How has business been for you? And you should be getting plenty because it's a lot of wrecks out there in these Memphis streets. It's a lot of wrecks out there. I had asked Miss Clea Hall's mother. Normally she's like in the bushes, and I've been waiting for her to respond. I know she works at night. I was gonna ask her to come up, but I wanted to remember Miss Clea Hall. Okay, Clea Hall was a young lady that went missing in Arkansas in 1994. Okay. And normally her mother is like in the bushes on my podcast. I've had her on my show before. She's been on my TV show, and we talked about her being missing. It's slow but steady. Hey, well, that's a good thing. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get faster. I'm telling you, like the overflow is in the atmosphere for everybody. So it'll start to speed up. Um, I was waiting for her mom to respond. She hasn't responded yet. I was going to ask her to come up and just give an update on Clea's case. Clea has been missing, like I said, for 30 years. Over 30 years, actually 31 years from out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Clea was dropped off at her summer job, which was um, a man by the name of Dr. Amos, okay? Larry Amos out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I want to pull up something. Hold on one second. Hold on. Now, at this point, she had been missing for 25 years. I want to start, spotting some of these young ladies that have been missing for a long time. Hey, Miss Nita.
THV11's Unsolved series continues tonight with the disappearance of Clea Hall.
She vanished 25 years ago. There are few
At that
clues
point,
and
it had
no
been
trace of
25
Clea, who
years.
was 18 years old.
She's been
at the
missing
time.
31
Dawn
years
Scott
now.
shares her mother's plea for help.
We don't know what happened to Clea.
We had been praying here today that we would get some news.
Somebody out there has to know something, because when she left, she didn't have anything.
We don't have any evidence that tells us what happened to her.
Clea Hall had a big heart and an even bigger love for children.
She's always played with somebody's children. I mean, at church, she worked in the nursery.
At only 18 years old, Clea, as her family nicknamed her, had a big plan. Her mother, Laurel, explains.
She was in the Beta Club, President Achievement Awards. She was a good student.
And she had dreams, and back then, that she wanted
to be a pediatrician.
Clea was weeks away from finishing high school.
Excited about graduating. She was going to do an internship in Boston for the summer, and then she was going to go to Tennessee State.
But all those dreams faded away. Clea Hall vanished May 9th, 1994.
We have not yet, in all these years, a trace.
Pine Bluff Deputy Police Chief Terry Hobson has been involved in the case on and off for 25 years.
I wish that we could find out what happened to her, and we will continue.
Clea worked for a man named Larry Amos here at his Pine Bluff home office.
We had a federal grant for a food program, and she did the clerical work for him.
She worked weekends and evenings during the week. May 9th was a Monday.
Just like yesterday.
She'd asked her mom for a ride just before 5 o'clock to work.
I dropped her off and watched her walk in, and then that was the last time that we saw her.
Laurel says Clea called around 8 o'clock asking if she had any phone messages. Clea then said she planned to work a little while longer, so Laurel fell asleep. But her husband woke her to tell her Clea had never come home. Laurel immediately called Clea's boss.
When I called him at 12:45, he picked up the phone on the first ring and said she had left, but he doesn't know who she left with.
The last time anyone saw Clea Hall was right here outside the home office of her boss, Larry Amos. Amos told Clea's mom she left around 8:30 that night when a ride showed up to pick her up. She should have been home in just a matter of minutes, since Clea's home is just a few blocks away.
I got on the phone calling the police because I'm thinking, that's not, all this is not normal.
But police told Laurel to wait 24 hours to file an official report. That initial report says very little. A missing person wearing a two-piece short set, navy blue and white socks, tennis shoes, and a white bow in her hair.
No clothes were missing, nothing.
she didn't have her purse with her or anything.
No purse, no phone, no ID, nothing.
Pine Bluff police and the community searched for Clea to no avail. Pink ribbons went up on police cruisers across town, in front of Laurel's house. Photos of Clea everywhere. Still, no sign of the teenage girl.
When this happened, I had a dream that she was in his house, sitting in a bathtub with her hands tied, calling me.
It is a dream that haunts Laurel to this day. For years, a mother with only photographs, newspaper clippings of her daughter, nowhere to be found. Happy birthday to you. Laurel releases balloons every year on May 9th and on Clea's birthday. She celebrates Clea's birthday without her. And then, March 29th, 2012, one day before Clea's birthday, 18 years after her disappearance, a break. A formal search of the Amos property, trained canines and a swarm of officers dragging.
Can you all hear it now?
But why did it take so long? Pine Bluff police would only say new information prompted the search, but wouldn't say what that information was. Amos in the green shirt watched.
Okay, so that's Amos right there in the green shirt. Let me show y'all.
Police would only say new
Because
information
they've never really shown him.
Say what that information was. Amos.
This is him right here.
Then the green shirt watched as police went in and out of his home.
We had been praying here today that we would get some news. When will this nightmare end?
Nothing came from the search. Evidence was mishandled. Officers were reprimanded, and Laurel Hall was devastated.
They made some mistakes in our case.
Deputy Chief Hobson admits there were errors.
What happened to that family's sister and daughter didn't have that coming.
You haven't been able to do anything really, have you? You can't have a funeral.
Somebody out there knows something, and that one person for 25 years has been able to hold that information. I don't know how they've been able to do it.
Call 911. Call. Remain anonymous. We got a lot of money we pay for the right information. It would be extremely substantial.
You'll never stop.
Nope. If I stop looking, or we stop looking, or we stop letting go of our balloons, who's going to help me find out what happened to my child?
A child with big dreams whose mysterious disappearance haunts an Arkansas community.
Okay, that was Clea Hall. And this is one of the cases that I want to keep her picture up. I think it's solvable. I think at the time that Clea went missing, Pine Bluff, Arkansas had not really had any cases of this nature. And the Dr. Amos, he was in real good with the politicians. He immediately lawyered up, okay? And they didn't immediately go, and he wouldn't allow the mother, her parents, even though she was working for him, to search his house. I think it's an insult to go and search his house 19 years later. By that time, they said he had the house remodeled and redone 11 times. The last time Clea's mother saw her, she was walking into Dr. Amos's house to work for him. The only reason that they went and got the dogs and searched the properties 19 years later was because he had some Hispanics working for him, filling in some holes in his yard with cement. And as they was filling in the holes with cement in his backyard, they said that there was a foul odor coming out of those holes, and it smelled like, it could have been dead body parts or whatever. So that's why the police decided to go and do a search. Of course, they said that the dogs didn't pick up on any scents of any human remains, but he had already paid them to, fill in the holes with cement, right? So me and a few other investigators went to Pine Bluff a few times. At the time we talked with the police chief, we were able to sit down and talk with the police chief. They was very mum about it. The police chief said at the time of her disappearance, he had just gotten on the police force. I later found out though that he, went to church with Dr. Amos, right? Dr. Amos did a lot of suspicious stuff right after her disappearance. Now, this is a young lady that had worked in his home, that had worked for him. He was the last person. She was last seen at his home, and he would not help her parents do any searches when they was putting up pictures flyers of her days after her disappearance. He was seen taking the flyers down. Okay, they went to the police department because he was seen snatching the flyers down the day after she went missing. Instead of helping her parents look for a child that had worked for him, he left and went to Houston. When he came back from Houston, he laid brand new concrete in his driveway, right? I don't know, it's just really suspicious. Like all of the houses around him that surrounds his backyard, he bought both houses on the side of him, and there's a church that like almost on the side, kind of is positioned almost in his backyard. He wanted to buy the church, so he wanted to buy all the land that surrounded his backyard, right? That's what he wanted to do. It's really weird. I can remember like when we was going down there, when we was out in the yard talking to her mother. He sent some white guy around there because they had not, they knew that he could see us on his cameras riding back past his house, you know, a few times. His wife, okay, I was able to, at the time, he was married to his second wife, but his first wife is who he had his children with. And I actually reached out to her, and the lady went batshit crazy. I mean, she was totally. I told her, I was like, you know, I'm a private investigator, and we want to, you know, try to get Clea's case solved. It was actually doing a video or whatever. The lady went crazy. The first thing she said was, I don't know anything about her. If it was my child, I would want somebody to tell me. I mean, she went into a panic. I had to come, like, ma'am, please. I mean, she went into a panic. She was hysterical, right? And so I later found out that she had to get away from Dr. Amos because he was beating her. He was trying to kill her, and she ended up throwing hot water on him and getting away. And the wife that he has now, he allegedly is very abusive too, and he does not allow her out of his sight. He does not allow her to talk. She was actually the one when Clea, the last day that Clea was seen, Dr. Amos's wife was actually the one to call Clea and ask her if she wanted to come in and work some extra overtime, okay? Which is weird within itself, right? And then that was the last time that she was seen. When I talked to Dr. Amos, nobody has really ever talked to him, right? And so I got the opportunity I called him and I asked him if he would be interested in doing a phone interview with me. That man talked to me like I was a damn dog. Okay. And I took it because nobody had ever had the opportunity to speak with him. So I had to be talked to like a dog to try to get something out of him. And his wife was, you know, when she answered the phone, you could tell she's very passive and all of that. But when he told me, you don't have no reason, don't call me until you read the police report. Have you read the police report? I said, no, sir, I haven't. He said, well, you ain't got no business calling me. Don't say nothing to me until you read the police report. I have given a statement. And then he went into a rage, right? And he went into a rage talking about all of the things that Clea's mother did wrong. Okay. He said, what kind of mother just drops her child off at somebody's house if they're not at home? I wasn't even at home. Well, now his wife was the one that called Clea in early, asked her if she wanted to work. That's weird within itself. Now we see his wife is under his influence. He's abusive to her. All of these things, she's very afraid of him, right? She does not speak unless he tells her to speak. And of course, she was called in. Now, here's the weird thing about that. Clea was told about this summer job by two girls. One just passed away this year. Two girls that was in her class that knew Dr. Amos personally. They was working for him, and they wanted to quit. That's weird, y'all. This whole thing is weird. And he told them before they could quit working for him, they had to find him somebody else. Clea lived 3 minutes up the street from Dr. Amos. 3 minutes. Okay. And that was weird too, Erica and Esther, for him to tell them, when kids have jobs, we all have been teenagers. When we quit, F you. I don't give a damn if you don't find, I don't care if you ain't got nobody to work for you. I'm gone, right? But in order for these girls, these teenage girls, he told them before you can quit, you got to find somebody, okay, to come and work. Come and take your place, okay? And so they asked around in their school, which is weird, because why didn't he just hire some adults? Okay. And they asked around in their high school, and Clea was one of the young ladies in the class, and she realized that Dr. Amos lived right down the road from her. And she said, I'll, she knew she was getting ready to go off the TSU. She said, I want to make some extra money. And so they told Dr. Amos they had found someone to come and work for him. How come he didn't get his motherfucking wife to work for him? She was a school teacher, and he made her quit. Okay, so she could have easily worked since it was in his home. He had a home office, okay, that he had made for these young girls to come. I guess it was a revolving door for young girls. And it's weird because I can remember, like, right before one of the young ladies passed away, I talked to her, and she was very friendly. She was very nice. She had gotten really sick. She was sick then. And she still spoke highly of Dr. Amos. She spoke very highly of his wife. I asked her if I could record it, and I did. I still got that recording of that young lady. I mean, she was very nice. And then her sister, who was one of the other ones to recruit her, I ended up doing some searches on her and found her information and called her. And when I told her, I said, I'm a private investigator, and I'm trying to reignite this cold case. I know you all were the ones that introduced Miss Clea to the job. I want to know if you could give me some information, if you would talk to me. And she hung up in my face and blocked me. Okay. I'm still blocked to this damn day. Okay. But talking to him, it was like deplorable. He blamed Clea's mother for everything. He said, what kind of mother lets her child come to somebody's house that ain't at home? Why would her mother leave her daughter at my house? As if he was blaming her mother for what he has possibly done. Nobody has ever touched him because he's always lawyered up, which is weird. I really think that it's not in the interest of Arkansas to solve this case. They realized that they did a lot of things wrong. I think back then in 94, there was some type of cover up. And even though a lot of the ones that was alive that covered this up has croaked over, they dead and rotten somewhere. Y'all know I speak like this when I'm mad, when I'm pissed off. They somewhere dead and rotten, okay? It's not in the interest of them to solve the case of this young lady, even though Dr. Amos' old ass is still alive, because her mother could file a wrongful death lawsuit and own the state of Arkansas. Okay, so I don't think they're necessary. It's going to take somebody with a good heart that is a state official that just decides, hey, we're just gonna have to take the loss. We'll settle with the family, but we're gonna get this case solved. Because her mother is so sweet. She had me to come. She does an event every year on the day. She does a ball, okay, every year on the day of her disappearance. And she actually had me to come. Me and my daughters went. She asked me if I would be the guest speaker. My daughters and I went some years back, and I spoke, and it was so beautiful. It was so nice. They still have a lot of people to come out. Her mother, bless her heart, okay, her mother is keeping hope alive. She feels like as long as nobody has ever been found that that her daughter will walk into the house one day. So I kind of walk on a tightrope when I speak about her daughter. When I interview her, she's always very open about being interviewed and all that. I kind of walk on a tightrope because I don't want to ever crush a mother's um what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't ever want to crush her hope of her child walking through that door. It's been 31 years since she dropped her child off at that man's house, and she last saw her walk into his house, and she never saw her child again. Um hey, as a mother, I would want to have all the hope in the world, but 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 as um I don't want to say as a logical thinking person, but I guess as an investigator, I don't think she ever came out. I don't think she ever came out. Okay. I don't think she ever walked out that house. And when you look into this man's background, there has been um history a long time ago, dating back. He worked at funeral homes as a teenager. He liked working at funeral homes. He's from Helena, Arkansas. So he would know how to dispose of dead bodies. He had a fascination, they said, in Helena when he was growing up of working for funeral homes. When he moved to Pine Bluff, they say he was extremely weird. And so I believe because there was a history of also of him being like a peeping tom. Okay, he liked to peep in women's windows allegedly growing up. Okay, so there's a pattern of some type of sickness. Um, Clea was a 17, almost 18-year-old pretty young girl, okay, that was working for him, and I believe he made a sexual advance at her. Okay. So one night I was just sitting at home after I had interviewed Clea's mom, okay? And it had to have been because I interviewed her some years back. Um and I've talked about this case because I believe that it's solvable. Um, but when I talked to him, he was just totally, he was totally, he was totally deplorable. He was mad that as if you got the audacity to reach out to me and question me when nobody has. Nobody dared to do that around this area. How dare you call me? Although I was the last person to see her. She was at my home. Um, he just talked real bad to me. So when I told him, I said, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna get somebody to pull that report. And I got to working fast to get that report pulled. And I said, and I tell you what, he said, well, you call me back. So we got the report pulled, and which he didn't say anything. When they brought him in, he didn't want to talk. He lawyered up. He said that she left with a peach pop in her hand, but then he turned around and said that he didn't see her leave. He had initially said he didn't see her leave. Then he said she left and got in the car with somebody with a peach pop in her hand. They didn't call him on that. That's a discrepancy in his statement, right? So he didn't really say anything. So when I called him back, he had changed his phone number. Okay. And so he went off on his wife because I was like, we'll wait because we could wait. We got systems, especially then when I was doing private work. But we just wait and they start updating the systems because our systems was through TBI. And so we waited for them to start updating them systems. And then his motherfucking number came up again, and I called him right back, just like nothing had happened. And it pissed him off because he was trying to figure out how the hell you get my number. I could tell that's what it was. He went off on his wife so bad. Okay, he was so mad. He was hollering. He lost total control Okay, so he probably would have tried to do the same thing to me. He was so mad. But he she went, okay, so this guy called me. This is when her mother came, and the first time I did an interview with her. And so this guy that knew Dr. Amos, okay, it was so weird. He said he just decided, because he was from out of Helena, Arkansas, and he's living in Texas now. And he said he remembered that she went missing in 1994, and he just decided out of nowhere to go online and look up Clea to see if there had been any updates. Because he said, I want you to know I went to school with him. Whatever y'all think he did to her, he did it. And I said, I don't know what you mean. He was like, my mama is still alive. She's old. She's still in Helena, Arkansas. And I think he'll do something to my mama. So I don't want to say much, but whatever y'all think he did to her, he did it. He said, I used to be his best friend. I saw how weird he was. I saw the stuff that he would do. He had nerves like a bat out of hell. And I think this guy know what happened. And I think he basically told me what happened. He says, what I think happened is, this is what he said verbatim. He said, what I think happened is, I think he made a sexual advance at her. Okay. He said, I think he made a sexual advance at her. And he said, when we were growing up, he could never accept rejection. He said, even as a teenager, he couldn't accept rejection. The man told me, he said, so what I think happened was he came on to her. She told him that she was going to tell it. He said, I really wish she had not just said nothing and just left and went home. He said, but I think she told him that she was going to tell it, and he went crazy and strangled her. Okay. I think he went crazy and killed her. Okay. This man, it's weird because I think about, see, it's weird how the damn Pine Bluff, Arkansas Police Department ain't worth a damn. Okay. Because this man left and went to Texas the day after. He left and went to Dallas the day after this girl went missing, Clea. This man that called me lives in Dallas. Okay. It's funny, he lives in Dallas. I gave his number to her mother. And when he called me, because he didn't block the number or nothing, and I don't have it no more, but I gave it to Clea's mother, and I think she called and talked to him, and he was scared to really still talk to her because his mother was real old. And he said she was still alive, and he had family members taking care of her down there in Helena, and he Amos so crazy, he believed that he would do something. Now, I think that man told the story of what really happened, and he lived in Dallas. And Amos, because if he's still that scared of Amos, did Amos get him to be an accessory after the fact? Like, none of this stuff was ever followed up. I gave the information to the Pine Bluff Police Department. None of this stuff was ever followed up on. I think it's a damn shame before God that these people is letting this old ass man, they could at least bully his wife and to tell him what happened, because I'm almost positive she knows what happened. That's why he don't let her go outside. She can't go nowhere without him. And when I contacted his first wife, she almost I thought they was gonna have to admit her in the crazy house. She went so crazy. She was so scared. So whatever happened to this young lady, it lies right around this man. And he's been able to walk free for over 31 years in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, bullying the police department, right? It's as if he's bullying the police department. Now, Miss Hall says that when Miss Hall says that when this first happened to Clea, a female white called her and says that he did this like back in 1989. A female white, a young white girl went missing. And everybody in Helena knows that he was the reason behind it. So what I did was I called the Helena, Arkansas, they might call it Helena, Arkansas, Police Department. And you know what they told me? Well, ma'am, we don't keep Man, we don't keep records of folks that went. We wouldn't have records of anyone that went missing in 1989. I said, but aren't y'all supposed to keep the files? Like, keep them, like, file them. You know what I mean? Keep them. They supposed to always keep them. Man, we wouldn't have that. I say this some shit. So, I mean, I wasn't able to get that either. You know, any young female whites. The lady told Miss Hall that she was around 12 or 13 years old that went missing in 1989. A bunch of crap, right? But this man still walks free. So, me and my creative mind, I started looking at the areas around, because he has rental properties. So I pulled his rental properties and I started looking at them in real time. And I saw that he still owned those properties. And even back then, they were isolated properties with the grass up real high, easily empty. Okay, they're supposed to be rental properties, but the houses were empty, easily a place that he could abduct girls and take them. They didn't check any of this, right? He still owns these properties. They haven't gone and checked the ground to see if there are any dead bodies buried. But he frequented, and he had houses in Arkansas, in Hot Springs, Arkansas. So around that time, Clea went missing. I started pulling up girls that around the Hot Spring, Arkansas area. It was so many of them, black girls that looked like Clea, around the same age as Clea, that was walking to their bus, that was snatched up, walking to their bus, never made it to the bus stop to go to school, missing. They didn't follow up on any of this, right? So my hope is they didn't put two and two together, because they just didn't. Okay, according to some other people, that was like these little small cities during that time, they were not prepared to work cases of this caliber. They didn't know how to do it. Okay. And so I believe this man, if he did this to this girl, that wasn't the first time, as we see. Definitely wasn't the last time. He's about 70, so his ass still young enough to hurt a child, right? He's still young enough to hurt a child. And her mother has gone to the Arkansas, the branch of the FBI, and it's called ABI. They said they can't get involved unless Pine Bluff Police Department asks them to get involved, and the Pine Bluff, Arkansas Police Department won't ask ABI to get involved to try and see what has happened to this young lady that has been missing for 31 years. And I think it's got everything to do with they don't really want it solved. They know that he has done something to her. Okay? She's more, I would really love for her to walk into her mother's house. Her mother has that hope she still speaks about. As long as they don't find a body, I believe my child is going to walk in my door. God up in heaven knows I wish that would happen. But I just believe that this man has prevented that from happening. And I believe because he has bought all the properties around his backyard, I don't think she's ever left the house, not unless he had it in his trunk and took her to Dallas. This man that called me one night out of nowhere and said, whatever y'all think he did to her, he did it. Now, he left and went to Dallas the day after she went missing. Years later, a man just happened to, a friend of his, an old friend of his, just happened to decide, I want to see what's going on with this case. Searching on the internet, see my phone number, call me. Okay. That's when I was putting my real phone number up. Call me and then give this scenario of what he thinks happens. And then in the process says, I really wish she had not told him that she was going to tell and just left. But when she told him, I'm gonna tell somebody, it made him flip as if he know exactly what happened, right? So anyways, you guys, listen, we're still holding hope alive that one day somebody will have a heart to I'm talking about like the FBI will get justice for the family. um Listen, he flipped out on me, so I know he crazy. He flipped out on me, and when he went into a rage, he started to blame Clea's mother for even allowing her to come to his house. That's what he did. He said, "What kind of mother uh, uh, allow their daughter to come to somebody's house when they're not at home? What kind of mother leaves their daughter at somebody's house late?" That's what he said. Okay. So I was able to find a friend of Clea's that she talked to on the phone. He's living in Colorado. And he said that he talked to Clea that night. And he said he told the police that he was supposed to walk Clea home. He said, I waited for her to call me back. Okay, because as her mother said, she said she was going to work a little later because Amos needed her to work a little later. And her mother, who is a nurse, ended up falling asleep. So when Clea tried to call her mother had fallen asleep. So she called her friend. This particular guy was able to get in contact with. And he said, I told the police. She called me and asked her to walk her home. And he said, I waited for her. He lived on the same street. This was a boy she went to school with. They could have even looked into him. He said, but when he said she never called me back. He said she told me she would call me back in 30 minutes and I was going to meet her and walk her home. She never called me back. Okay. So we're going to pray for justice for Clea. Okay. Because stuff like this is happening every single day, all day. It ain't stopped. And I'm tired of how, when the police departments make mistakes, and it was definitely a lot of mistakes made because they didn't know how to investigate, and there was some people covering for him. They decided years later it would be too expensive for the state of Arkansas, okay, to solve the case, even though it's right. Everything, all of the ingredients is right there. Okay, and this man is arrogant as he has ever been. Okay. And it tells me he still travels all the time, which means as long as he's able-bodied, able to get up and travel, he's a threat to anybody until he croak over. And hopefully when he croaks, he'll die in jail. Okay. Hopefully they will he can get some indictment and he'll die in jail where he need to die at. Okay. They said that they dig the holes up. They did not dig the holes up, Christopher. What they did was they sent the dogs back there to see if they smell any. How in the hell dogs gonna smell through the cement? They didn't dig the holes up. They messed up the evidence totally. The officers that got the evidence left it in their car and it was a take-home car and took the damn car home, and the evidence was totally ruined. Who does that? Unless they was trying to do it. Small country town, poor, when you got money, there you can have a certain way. Amos probably keeping PB afloat with his money and influences. Did they trace her phone? The guy phone? He didn't they didn't trace the phone. They allowed him to tell them who she called. He said that he pushed redial and it dialed back to some guy that her parents didn't know. And they said he gave the guy name was John or something like that, or whatever they say the name was. and but he didn't give them the phone number. Okay, he just hit. Y'all know that's what we used to have, *69. Okay, um, and it dialed back, or it was a redial or something. And he said that they allowed him to give him the name of some guy, and they didn't trace, they didn't do anything. So that's sad. So we're praying for one day for Clashendria. Um we're gonna pray for peace in this situation and justice. Okay, peace and justice. I bet you if they had gone and followed up with that guy in Dallas, if they had pressed them hard enough, I bet you they could have came up with some answers. But it's got to be somebody that cares, okay? Because it's already suspicious enough that a man leaves the day after a young girl that worked for him goes missing at his home, come back from Dallas a few days later and lays out fresh concrete in his driveway. You know, why the hell did he do that? Okay, so that's weird too. Anyways, you guys, hey, justice for Clea Hall. Okay, I also wanted to talk about. I just wanted to highlight that case. It was on my mind. I hope God is getting ready to. I pray that God is getting ready to solve that case. Okay. Also, you guys, I wanted to talk about Miss Romika. A young lady that was unalived in Chicago. Okay. Hold on, let's see. Hold on, you all. Give me a second. You all, make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. This is a young lady that was unalived in Chicago. And her child's father, okay, was the person that was there. Let's see. Okay, so here it is right here. Rest in peace to this young lady. Let me make sure that I'm on the right. Oh, this is not it.
She's the one who shot her. She's the one who shot her. Restraining order, but she shot her. Oh my fucking God! On the page in your car, how you feel? She just dropped her. Get up. You scared as hell, right? Scared as hell. She got it, baby. Scared as hell. That is not self-defense. You were trying to stop her in the car. You're trying to interfere, bro. What are you talking about? You had her in a headlock. When you shot her, Cody, I was there. I want to statement, Cody. Don't worry about it. I don't know arrested. There's a fucking gun on the street. I'm licensed to carry. It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter, dude. You shot somebody, nigga. What the fuck wrong with you? Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
Okay. So this is the sad thing about it. You know, I was looking at some stuff today. The young lady had been posting that her child's father had basically been harassing her. Okay. She had posted not too long ago, how long does it take for a man to get over his first baby mama? Okay, so he had gotten this girl right here pregnant from out of Milwaukee. And it seems to me that the first baby's mother was moving on. It seemed like to me she didn't want him because she always would post for him to leave her alone. He wouldn't leave her alone, right? I don't know if this made the young lady jealous. According to what I was looking at earlier today, supposedly last week he was up there at their child's school and he tried to fight her. He came up there because she had posted, "You don't have my phone number and you don't know where I live." So she had blocked all communications with him. Okay. So he was coming, she said he was coming up to her job. So it seemed like to me he had an obsession, which probably made the second baby mama who's standing there jealous. Now, people are talking, he posted the worst day of his life, but y'all, no, I mean, it's something about him that don't pass the smell test. They said he had this young lady in a headlock. Okay, she had just took her son into school. So they came to her. They violated her by coming to her. The second baby mama is there while he's got her in a headlock. She shoots her several times. Okay? He does not look distraught to me. I'm just going to tell you the truth. She's a damn fool out the books. Okay? She's standing there talking about, I got a license to carry. I got a license to carry. And so people are saying, so what? You just killed somebody. So she feel like because she's got a license to carry, she could just shoot the girl in the face while he got her in the headlock and kill her. She's standing there like, I mean, we see the blood. He does not really, he's pacing back and forth like he's nervous, like he's trying to make sure she's dead. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all, I believe he told her to do it. I believe he told her, he probably tricked her because he has an obsession, it seemed to me, with his first baby mama. I believe he told her because she's simple. She seems like a simple chick. You conceal, because for somebody standing there and say, I'm concealed, I got a license to carry. I got a license to carry. As if she's dumb enough to believe just because she got a license to carry, she could just pop somebody and kill them. So she's standing there like a bump on a pickle. And he's pacing back and forth. I believe he told her, you got a license to carry. You got a restraining order on her. Because allegedly, I thought the girl had a restraining order. They're saying that this girl had a restraining order on the young lady that they shot. So how's she going to violate her own restraining order, right? I believe he probably tricked her into saying, you got a restraining order on her. You got a license to carry. We could kill her and ain't nothing going to happen. So that's why she was standing there, not nervous. Neither one of them had tears. I believe he would rather see his first baby mama, who didn't want him no more, had cut off all contact with him. That's why he was coming up to her job. They said she was back in school to become a nurse. She had moved on. It seemed like to me he'd had a newborn baby. They said her baby was in the car. Why are they up there harassing this girl? And how in the hell could he, regardless to what issues? That's why I believe he told the little slow to shoot her. Her jealousy, knowing that he's probably got some type of obsession with his first baby's mama because he won't leave her alone. Okay, that hatred, that jealousy, and then him egging her on because he can't have her. He'd rather see her dead. I think that's what happened. Okay, that's really what I believe. Okay, let's see. Now, if you look at the girl, the baby's mother who shot the girl, She's just standing there. You just shoot a girl and she's laying out there dead, blood everywhere. Okay, you put the gun in the car and get on the phone and you just standing there. He's pacing. He seem a little nervous, but he's trying to make sure she's gone. So I guess so no other man can have her. I don't know.
She's not her. She's the one who shot her. She's the one who shot her. But she shot her.
Now you see, she looks like she's young. You see, she's on the phone talking. She's on the phone talking to somebody just like she didn't just kill someone, saying, "I'm licensed to carry." That's mental illness for real. Slow and mental illness.
Oh my God. The page in the car, how you feel? She just dropped her. Sit up. You scared as hell, right? Scared as hell. Keep at it, baby. Scared as hell. That is not self-defense. We were trying to stop her in the car, bro. You're throwing her in the car, bro. What are you talking about? You had her in a headlock. And then you shot her, Brody. I was there. I'll write a statement, bro. Don't worry about it.
There's a fucking gun on the street. I'm licensed to carry.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter, bitch.
You shot somebody, nigga. What the fuck wrong with you?
Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
She put the gun in the car. The gun, she shot her. Let's go right here. She shot her. She shot her. She put the gun in the car. She put the gun in the car. The gun is in the car. Arrest her. She shot her. I was telling her.
If you look at him, he does not look distraught. The girl, the ghetto, y'all hear? I got a license to carry. I got a license to carry. She's slow, she ghetto, and all of that. So now, what's getting ready to happen? Y'all know what's getting ready to happen? Hopefully he'll be arrested. Hopefully when she get her ghetto ass up in there and get to talking, she'll probably gonna say, he said, when I put it, I want you to shoot her. Because what man would allow, I don't care what kind of issues he's got, why would you allow your baby mama, one of your baby's mama, you go to this girl? It's not like this girl came to them. They went harassing this girl at his own son's school, in front of his son's school. And you shoot the mother, you allow your new baby's mother to shoot the mother of your oldest son. What kind of shit is that? You take your son's mother away, and in return, now she's getting ready to, she won't be out to raise her child. Her little slow ass, I mean, just from looking at her, I mean, I know that's mental illness at its best. This girl is down here, blood everywhere. She does not seem to be the least bit worried. She's just casually on the phone. And then bust out and say, I got a license to carry. I got a license to carry. Y'all, this is a scary world that we live in. I'm serious. It's a scary world. People are becoming worse than some of these animals. Okay. And you don't really see a whole lot of animals killing their own kind as much as you do the human animal. Okay. I mean, like I said, this is sad on a whole nother level. They say that he has not been arrested, but I hope they go get him. They went violating that girl. She was in Chicago. They were in Milwaukee. Why was he consistently going and messing with that girl? What, he didn't have the guts to kill her, so he got that damn fool to do it? And her jealousy and rage of knowing that he's got some type of obsession with his child's mother led her to do it, as if I'm gonna get her out the way so he could focus on me, and she gonna have her ass in jail, and he probably being comforted by another woman tonight. So who gonna raise her son? Another woman? Hopefully the oldest, the young lady that just lost her life, hopefully her folks would take her child. Because if you ask me, he don't need to raise none of them because he need to have his ass in jail. Because I believe they both decided that they was going to spin on that girl. He couldn't let that girl go. It's sad. This is the type of stuff that's happening every day. Listen, it bothers me because, I have never known any of my girls, and I hope it never happens, to be going back and forth about no man. Okay. But it's not worth it. Rather, it's a man or a woman. Okay. No, it's just, it ain't worth it. Just let them go on. And listen, if they're consistently harassing you, you might need to start, might need to put a paper trail on them, and make sure that you get you a weapon. Because we know now restraining orders don't stop folks. It does not stop a crazy person. So when you go, the paper trail is for you. Okay, the paper trail is for you, so you won't be hassled when you have to knock their asses. That when you have to go ahead and give them one through the forehead. Okay, you at least you got a paper trail. But this is sad. I can't understand why they didn't arrest both of them. It's more than likely an ongoing investigation. Hopefully, at some point, he will be arrested. Because I kind of believe that he when he put that child in the headlock and she goes in her car and shoot her, I believe he held her for her to do it. That's what I think. Why in the hell was they there? Why would they drive 2 hours from Milwaukee to Chicago? Why couldn't he leave her alone? Like I said, you look on her Facebook page, she was talking about how he was consistently coming up to a job, how he tried to fight her because he didn't know where she lived anymore. So he was going up to his son's school. He knew that's where he could catch her at. Or he was coming up to a job. So I think that is sad, I do. Anyways, you guys, I know it's 12:30, but I had some other things going on, so I wasn't gonna get on, but I was like, it ain't gonna hurt to get on for an hour. It bothers me too. Yeah, it is happening so often. People don't have any self-discipline, no self-control. It's, if I get mad, I'm going to violate you. And they've gone past just violating people. It isn't, I get mad, I'm going to take your life. That's what's going on now. More people, they allow that spirit of jealousy to just, even if you feel like you ain't got nothing, it seems like to me you got a newborn baby. You come to kill another woman with your damn newborn baby in the car. And like I said, there's something wrong with her. She didn't have not an emotion of this girl laying in the street dead. And then she says, I'm licensed to carry, as if just because she's licensed to carry, she could just kill somebody. Okay. Like I said, I believe they both, I believe that it was premeditated. I think they both decided that they were going to, and he probably egged her on to do it. Okay. He didn't have the guts to kill her. So he get a damn fool to do it. And she did do it. And in return, she'll be in jail for a long time. When she get out, her child will probably be an adult. Okay. Hopefully she don't ever get out. Hold on one second. Let me see if Miss Hall has hold on, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Okay. Thank you, nothing for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate that. Hey there, lovely one. Mosh chat. Hope everything is good. Thank you so much, darling. Women are being manipulated to crash out. Yeah, but they study the ones that would do it. They because like I said, it's something wrong with that chick. For her to be standing there emotionless, they said her baby was in the car. You come to kill another woman for a man that can't let her go. Now he might not end up in jail, but she definitely gonna be there. But I think he should be in jail too. I do. I think he should be in jail too. Anyways, you guys, it's 12:30. I gotta get myself ready for work. Okay. I appreciate you all getting on tonight though. I want you all to please like, share, and subscribe. I said I was gonna make this short. I wanted to do a short. I didn't feel like editing. I mean a pre-recorded. I didn't feel like editing. I felt like it would just be easier to get on and talk and communicate with you all, and then just make it short and get off. Okay. Anyways, y'all, I will more than likely be on tomorrow. I've been preparing to start my classes, so I'll probably end up having to start doing like more pre-recorded videos. Y'all know how we do those long lives. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. Y'all, I got something happening next month, and I think I'll be able to talk about it. Like, I'm gonna take pictures and stuff, and then after it happens, after we're finished, after it happens, I will post up the pictures more than likely, right? And then, of course, we're working on the event for December 2. Also, you guys, Jingle Jam, Dr. Derek Payne, he's a dentist that's in the building that my studio is in. This year he has Young Jeezy that is coming to Memphis. So, Jingle Jam, I definitely I want to go see Jeezy. Okay, so I think you all should consider that. Dr. Payne is awesome. Okay, he does a lot of great parties. So, anyways, y'all, I enjoyed you all tonight for the little time I was on. I'm going to take my shower and talk to my boo. I'm just kidding. Anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. I love you guys. Good night. Okay. Don't forget to pray.